years ago, like Suzanne, I never got involved in anything other than, you know, giving money to animal organizations. I'm a part-time instructor in the conservation field. I rescue animals, but I never really got involved in anything. I'm actually a very shy person. And 3 years ago, joy and inspiration were ripped from my community. I had just moved into a new place in Brooklyn, and I didn't realize at the time that my house was in the direct path of the flight path of the Canada geese going from Prospect Park to Greenwood Cemetery. When I first saw it, I thought, you know, my house is fine, but these geese flying over my house every day brought me such inspiration and joy, and they literally flew no more than 100 feet. They're not up there with the planes. So anyway, that all changed on July 8th, 2010, when we found out that the lake was empty and the USDA had come in and taken out all the geese. And this is where I say to everybody, the sense of urgency that we all felt, the sense of anger and sadness and disgust, really, we just couldn't believe that Bloomberg and the other powers to be chose to do this to animals that lived in our community. We were outraged, we were saddened, we were disgusted, but right now I'm seeing that the Army is growing exponentially. 3 years ago, we really didn't know this was going on. I actually knew it was happening in other parts of the country, but it didn't register. But they came to take my geese, and these are your geese, and they didn't tell anybody, they didn't offer any input from the community, and this pissed us off tremendously. I just want to say, what is it about the geese that makes us want to be their voice, to make sure that we fight until there are no more kayaks, that there are no more turkey crates, that there are no more slaughterhouses or gassing. What do the geese, one of the most majestic species of birds, mean to you? And I came up with some of these things, and Edita had mentioned some of this. They exemplify everything that we're about: community, teamwork, devotion to family. They're one of the most devoted and admirable parents on the planet in the animal world, and they represent all that is good. And what I was thinking is they're mirroring everything that we want in our lives, that we want for ourselves, and that's why we probably connect with them. Also, they are team players. Right now, you're all team players in this fight. They work together for the good of the entire flock during their most vulnerable points, which is right now during their molt, where they gather together in numbers, and during their migration, which is a really challenging thing for any animal to go through. They represent community. Goslings will gather in large numbers with usually just one pair that tends to the nursery, while other parents will just kind of hang around, and it's almost like a daycare for the geese. And they also have us beat in the travel area. Canada geese don't need GPS like Mayor Bloomberg. They're able to navigate with the magnetic field of the Earth and also use the constellation and the stars. So what does that tell us? I mean, it's incredible. What can we continue to do? What can you guys do? Brian Shapiro touched on it. David touched on it. Edita touched on it. Anja touched on it. We need to change the public's perception of these birds, that they're not a threat to air safety, and that their poop is not a public health concern. There has been no documented cases here. So we need to change the public's perception of these birds. We need to get out there, talk to people one-on-one, talk to them and let them know what's going on, hand out flyers, do tabling events, social media. Just get out there. You'll feel the urgency that you'll want to do something. Call your council people, senators, Congress, Assembly. They work for you. They have to listen to us because they want our votes. And important, this is really important. You need to share with the public that Wildlife Services is nothing more than a glorified for-profit extermination service. They're using everyone's money, your money, to kill. You don't want that, and we need to share that with the public so that they know.
And disrupt the roundups.
And disrupt the roundups. Get out there and do what you can. Just don't get arrested if you don't want to get arrested. I'm going to end on something, some of you guys may have heard this, but I think it's really important about the whole structure of the geese. Geese fly in a formation, and many of you know why, and many of you may not. So I'm going to share this with you because we can relate to this as people. This is actually used as a team-building exercise for many organizations, and I'm going to share it with you. It's called Lessons of the Geese. This fall, when you see geese heading south for the winter, flying along in a V formation, you might be interested in knowing what science has discovered about why they fly that way. It is learned that as each bird flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the bird immediately following. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds at least 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. And our lesson is people who share common direction and sense of community can get where they're going quicker and easier because they're traveling on the thrust of one another. Whenever a goose falls out of the formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone, and quickly gets into formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird immediately in front. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation with those who are headed the same way we are going. We're working together as a community, the entire nation, internationally, everybody. When the lead goose gets tired, David, he rotates back in the wing and another goose flies point. It pays to take turns doing hard jobs. This is what we can learn from nature. It's all there for us. The geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. Encouraging words from us to everyone goes a long way. Finally, when a goose gets sick or wounded or is shot down by a gun and falls out, 2 geese fall out of the formation with it and follow him down to help and protect him. They will stay with him until he is either able to fly or until he is dead. And then they will only then launch out on their own with another formation to catch up with the group. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stand by each other like that. So I think we should send Mayor Bloomberg a copy of this. Feel free to do it, it's online. But just keep it going, guys. Keep it up, keep the fight. David, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. And that's really the takeaway point for me, too, is that I can't do this by myself. And I'm so grateful for all of you that are here today and for everybody that's been following along online and participating. We all need to do this. We all need to get our hands dirty, and we need to do this. We're only going to win if we go at it together, collectively. We can definitely do a chant. We did a chant last year, which was "GooseWatch is watching you," and I love that one. Do you want to do that one real quick? We're gonna get kicked out soon because our permit is about to expire. So, if you guys want to do this with me, GooseWatch is watching you. GooseWatch is watching you. GooseWatch is watching you.
GooseWatch is watching you. GooseWatch is watching you.
GooseWatch is watching you. GooseWatch is watching you. That's right. We're going to keep our eyes on what's going on, what the USDA is doing, what our elected officials are doing, and what people in these parks are doing, because, you know, we care very much about these animals on a day-to-day basis too. And really, I ask you to get more involved if you aren't already, and to everybody that's been giving their heart and soul to this and every other cause that you are, because I know that if you're already involved in something, you're probably doing a lot more than a lot of other people, and I'm so grateful to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I hope that message gets out way beyond this circle, and we're going to keep this fight up, and we'll see y'all soon. Thank you.